So I am sitting on our front porch and I'm looking at the balance of the seasons in a very strange way. I keep this wreath up on the table that's on our porch until it feels like the winter season is ended. And it's sitting on top of a fly swatter, which is a symbol of summertime around here because of the mosquitoes and the greenhead flies and the horseflies. So it's like the light in the dark, summarized. My little holly berries on the wreath and the fly swatter. It just couldn't be more beautiful out today. I just got back from church and we are headed off to a golf cart ride. Roger rides that thing around all year long, and I do when it's above freezing and I do not when it's below freezing. And today it's in the upper 50s in January. It is absolutely gorgeous out. If I'm lucky, I'll be able to share a tiny moment or two with you. I admit to having a favorite beastie since we moved here. I'm sure they stopped by at my old house, but rarely. We're here over the wintertime. The most common bird at our feeder is the titmice, the little mice of the bird family. I love them because they're here all year round and you get to know them. And I love them because of their vocabulary. They have about 6 different vocabularies, tones of voice, or however you want to call it, as the year goes around. Right now they're kind of like in the chipper, chipper, chipper kind of phase where they kind of mutter and they cheep. They go cheep, cheep, cheep too. And before too long, they were making a lot of noise. They have a very distinctive call in mating season, which actually constantly, day and well into the evening, is the sound of living here. I've learned to know the seasons by the sound of the birds. About the time the titmice stop their mating call, the whippoorwill will show up, and nighttime is filled with the echoing of the whippoorwill, and that's such a lovely sound. Actually, I can hear off in the distance, I don't know if you can or not, that there's some little man titmouse out there who is already beginning to sing for his lady, or ladies, trying to get somebody to pay attention to him. Ooh, the lot of being a male in the world. So I wanted to, well, I guess what I'm really doing is addressing several emails I got. I was only online for just a briefest of minutes this morning. I actually checked before I went to church because I was looking for a message from a church member. I wanted to see if I had it before I went to church. And had a little extra time, maybe 10 minutes or so. So I've been trying to be really good about staying up with my YouTube comments. It just seems a respectful thing to do. And I actually had quite a few emails from those of you who watch my vlogs. And it was interesting where it took me. And instead of replying to each of you individually, and if you still have questions, feel free to drop me another note. But I think this will answer your concerns. I probably would never have noticed because I really don't look at dislikes on my videos because I don't care. And several of you were a bit distraught because I had collected some dislikes on a recent vlog. So not a topic video where people might disagree, but it appeared to you that because I had dislikes on a vlog that someone's out there, was disliking my life. I understand where you're coming from. I happen to know from conversations I've had with a couple of you that sent me that email that you have been thinking, well, maybe this vlogging kind of thing is a way for me to join the community. And then you see someone thumbs down a vlogging video of mine and you're thinking, I don't know if I'm up for having someone judge my life that way. Let me first say, they aren't judging your life. They don't know your life. They don't know you. They only know what you choose to share. And we never know in a video what someone likes or does not like. There are people who will thumbs down your video because they don't like you personally, because they think the quality could have been better, or you could have edited better. Maybe there's a particular thing you said in the midst of everything in a particular video that when they heard that, they just had to click on that downward pointing thumb. The thing is, you'll never know. The thing is, it doesn't matter in the slightest. Now, if you're considering doing a vlog, entering into this world for the first time, if the thought of someone thumbing down, disliking some aspect of your life or seemingly of you, it shows you have a tender heart, and that's probably part of why you are who you are. So here's to you, and I hope you never release that tenderness. But it is never going to be about you. And no matter who you are, no matter what your personality or your presence on YouTube is, you're going to get dislikes. You can choose to turn off ratings. Consider doing that. You'll know if people enjoy your videos by the comments they make on them. Oh, it doesn't mean then that those who hide behind the dislike button anonymously might not then choose to post something on a video that you're uncomfortable with. Block and delete. The power's all yours. I cannot say enough times, it's never about you. It doesn't mean that we don't occasionally say something that riles someone up enough that it is what we said or how we said it that triggers somebody's response, but even then, they own the response, not you. My gut reaction is anyone who thumbs down a vlogging type video is disrespectful. A thumbs down on a vlog is a reflection of someone else's opinion of my life. Do I find it rude? Of course I do. Do I care? No. Most of you who watch my vlogs, just like those of you whose blogs I watch, it's because we care about each other. We're part of a community. We have a sense of the goodness in each other. We want to learn more about each other. So today I went to church. I love when I come back from church with an order of service. Can you see this that I've been jotting things on? I like to leave church with something to think about or journal about. And if I come away with an order of service that I haven't written little bits and pieces on, well, then I feel like I wasted that hour sitting in church. Oh, I will still enjoy the company of my church mates, the time I spend afterwards conversing and catching up with people. But I like to be able to make a little jotting or two of things that I hear during service that inspire me. Sometimes it's things I want to look up, a particular poem or an author or something that they quoted as fact, and I'm curious to know if it was. Sometimes I get to explore why I don't agree with something I hear in a Sunday service. Our Sunday service this week was about service. The idea of what we were in service to, what feels like the greater thing that moves through our life that we can choose to contribute to. Whether it's the raising of our children or the writing of a poem, the creation of art, devotion to some form of employment which just satisfies our soul, being in service literally, being a healer, a police officer, fire person, a law officer even, all in service to, as a teacher would be, to a greater sense of community. So I'm left considering, what am I in service to? That was one of the takeaways I had from today's service. As part of that, you use being a creedless religion, meaning there's not any doctrine that we recite. We tend to believe very powerfully, as most of we pagans do, that it is about what we do. It defines who we are. There is what we believe that makes us do, but as far as others are concerned, they see what we do. And there was a quote that they used that I thought was interesting. When we question what others believe, is it the specifics of their belief? Or is it what we see in their actions that we know feeds their self, feeds their life, and feeds other? What can we see of someone's beliefs by what it connects them to? I thought that was an interesting way to be witness to another person and get a feel for who they are by what their actions connect them to. I appreciated that. And then there was thoughts on giving, on offerings of time, donations of time and activity, in a way the sacrificing of some of the time in our life towards things which are important to us. And again, it went back to important in the way they feed us, feed our lives, and feed others. And they shared a quote which I liked. It said, "The joy of getting is short-lived. The true joy that lasts is giving without expectations." It was a reminder that it's not just about giving. The power of being in service to is giving without expectations. That gave me really something powerful to think of, because I have often declared what I feel that I am in service to. And it's hard to describe, then, what does being in service to mean? And it was really powerful for me to consider being in service to is the true giving without expectations in return. And one more thing from today's Sunday service. It was a story that was told about a man who had a troubled life. He was walking along the road. He had a lot of burdens. And he came across an old woman who was standing on the side of the road. And she held in her hand a gem, obviously of great worth. And she stopped him, and she said to him, "How may I help you?" And he thought, and then he spoke, that the gem she held would purchase him security and safety and success, maybe even excess, but all of his problems would go away with what that gem was worth. And she smiled and she gave it to him. And he walked on. And the more he ventured along that road, thinking about the things he could now accomplish with the money he would get from the sale of the gem. And then he stopped, and he thought a bit more. And he turned around and he went back. And the old woman was still standing by the side of the road, almost as if she was waiting for him. And he said to her, "I've been thinking, and there's something more important that I want from you than this gem." And he gave her back the gem. And she said, "What is it, then, that you want from me?" And he said to her, "I want whatever there is within you that enabled you to give me that gem." She gave without expectation of return. She gave from the heart, no strings attached. And he was wise enough to realize that was more powerful than anything that gem could ever have allowed him to obtain. So it was a good day in church, because I left with things to consider about what we're in service to. What is it we do that nourishes ourselves and brings depth to our lives and benefits others? What are you in service to? Is what I left to consider today. Oh, and there's one more thing. I left having signed up for a monthly drum circle. Do you know how much that thrills me? I had someone come up to me after service who had met at the newcomers luncheon yesterday. And I had introduced myself there, mentioning that my personal spirituality was earth-based and goddess-centered. And she had said to me yesterday, "You need to meet one of our members. She leads a winter solstice gathering for us. And I think she does some other things that you'll be interested in." So today after church, my new friend walked out to me with a stranger in tow and said, "I want to introduce you to so-and-so." And she said she does the winter solstice and she leads a drum circle for us. I could have just danced to Happy Dance right there in front of this new woman I hadn't met before. And we had a small chat, enough for me to understand that there are a couple of things we have in common. But enough for me to understand that I have every reason to look forward to the opportunity to get together with those who are gathering. It ends up that it's a potluck and then a drumming circle. So I'm looking forward, as time goes by, to share my experience of that with you. I asked her, "Can you handle an enthusiastic drummer with absolutely no talent?" And she said that would be most welcome to their drumming circle. I think that's going to be a very enjoyable evening. That's all for today, my friends. We spent the day outside. It was in the upper 50s. It actually hit 60 here today, so we're talking 20 degrees above what it should be. And we spent the day outside from about 11:30 to 3:30 or so. And then, of course, this time of the year, you have a real sense of the sun, because the moment the sun gets anywhere near that horizon, the temperature starts to drop very quickly. But it was a glorious day to be outside. All in all, it was actually a very good day. The list was not considered. There was nothing on the list for today. Seems to me that's just how a Sunday should be. Merry part, my friends.